For more on all that, let's go live to Brian Enton in Tucson, Arizona. He's been covering this case from the very start. What are you learning about this brand new canvassing yet again of this neighborhood?
Yeah, we saw them out here today, Elizabeth. They not only went to Nancy Guthrie's neighbors on both sides, but to other parts of the neighborhood. It seemed like they knew which houses they wanted to go to. There were some a couple of blocks away where they were talking to people. It was a mix of FBI agents and also Pima County sheriff's detectives, but they're now all on one task force, which is what I told you yesterday. They've combined it into one very focused task force, which I'm told is a good thing. What's interesting is I talked to some of the neighbors who had the FBI agents visit their homes, and they said there wasn't particularly anything new that they were asking them, but they said that they seemed more focused. They used that word focus, that they were focusing in on some of the same elements that they had asked them about before. Whether that means there are new leads coming in behind the scenes or if they are just doing follow-up, we don't know. But I can tell you, according to the FBI, the number of tips coming in have really started to slow, Elizabeth, since that $1 million reward was first announced. Elizabeth.
Oh, wow. All right. Okay. Brian Enton, live from Tucson. Thank you. For more, let's go to Jeffrey Halstead, retired Fort Worth police chief and former commander with the Phoenix Police Department. Jeff, what do you make of the fact that this task force of FBI agents and sheriff's deputies are now together going back again door to door asking more questions? What could people possibly know that they haven't already told them?
This is very typical because when this investigation passes about a 30-day mark, you're going to see a concentric focus on going back and reestablishing contact with people that were probably early interviewees. And what they're doing is they're doing a confirmation or a closure of these contacts, confirming what they told investigators before, and then either making sure the lead is still strong or closing this out so the task force can then centralize on their strongest opportunities for case development. It's very typical and it's very normal for this, but you got to have the right people doing this. And I think now is the right time. So I think they're doing the right things here.
You know, a lot of people had a lot of optimism when Savannah Guthrie announced on Instagram that they were posting a $1 million reward for information. They thought, okay, this will finally shake the tree. Somebody who knows something will not be able to pass that up. And yet, do we not yet have, apparently, I don't know, there could be something going on behind the scenes, but there hasn't been an arrest. And now we're hearing from Brian Enton that the numbers of tips is dropping.
Oh, yeah, I was in that group, when the elevation went to a level that I thought was absolutely instrumental in getting some criminal syndicate style communications. Someone that knew something that's within an element of crime is going to reveal that. I was in that group thinking that was going to hold and actually bring forward some stronger leads. With that said, you got to also remember the complexity in that first 2, 3, 4 day, and then no communication whatsoever to a lot of our media partners, a lot of the public, just some more enticing types of development in this case.
Right.
That becomes very, very frustrating on many aspects of the investigation.
Well, let's talk about the aspects of the investigation. I want to bring in Bob Krygier, a former Pima County Sheriff's Lieutenant who spent nearly 30 years at the department. Bob, you've been a longtime critic of Sheriff Chris Nanos, and you think he botched this investigation. How?
I don't think he necessarily botched the investigation. I think he botched the word of the investigation coming out to the public. He's got very little to do with the actual investigating and what the detectives are doing on the ground, but I think his messaging could have been a whole lot better from day one. There's reasons that he put stuff out and things like that. But as far as the investigation goes, I'm still very confident that the detectives and the agents from the FBI are doing a good job at that level.
Why haven't we had, Bob, any kind of news conference? Why, part of what you want to do in cases like this that you fear are growing cold is to keep it hot. Get out there in front of a microphone and tell the public you need this or that. We've had Savannah Guthrie trying to do her best to keep the public interest focused on finding her mother, but we haven't heard the sheriff give a news conference in weeks.
Well, I think based on those early news conferences, the way they went for him, he probably saw the writing on the wall. Now, that doesn't mean that other folks in the agency couldn't have done that, or partners within the FBI. And hopefully there are reasons for that the investigators behind the scene, they have been making those decisions. That being said, you know, you hit it. It's been a long time, and there's a lot of folks out there who are probably waiting and who may have some bits of information that they haven't put together yet because they haven't heard things coming from the top. And if they hear those things, it'll light a fire for them. Like, hey, I need to call this in now. So the reasons for it are manyfold. They didn't start off well. Someone probably told him to stop talking, quite honestly, and took that literally. So I do think that more should be put out in press conference format, not individual news or individual interview format.
Yeah, Jeffrey, you have a long experience in leading local police departments in both Texas and in Phoenix, Arizona. How would you have handled this? Would you have, established a process where there's a regular, even if you've got nothing new, where you come out in front of the microphones every day, every 3 days, you know, at least once a week, to just update the public on what's happening and to keep the interest going, because that's what you're going to need to crack this case?
Yeah, you're right. You know, I agree, you know, with my peer that's on our call with us today. So communication is the foundation of leadership excellence, period. So if you're not communicating, you're not showing a strong leadership presence. With that said, you know, after I retired, I spent years developing literally like a virtual press conference here with Genesis Evertel. Every reporter could be in an encrypted chat room instantaneously getting updates. He has a team of PIOs, and he can utilize them to get information out, updates out, because it keeps the story fresh. And that's absolutely critical.
Bob, what do you make of the fact that we now have the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's deputies going together as they go door to door? That this is Brian Nanton reported on this actually last night, but today he actually saw this at work. This newly formed task force. Is this a normal thing for there to be a newly formed task force a month later after the crime?
Well, the task force as it's put together now, it's my understanding it's a handful of detectives working out of the FBI building with FBI agents. Who's running it, who's leading it, that I'm not sure of. But in cases like this, it's not unheard of. I'm certain as I can be that from day one, again, that the investigators on the ground, the men and women, they were working well together. Yeah. There might have been some bumps in the road at the top. So putting a task force together at this point is just kind of formalizing what they've been doing for the past, you know, over a month. It's putting a name to it, and now they're focused on that. And because life has to get back to normal, both with the FBI and with the Sheriff's Department, as far as investigations go and things like that. And this is the start of that. Well,
and life will never be back to normal for the Guthrie family, sadly. Jeffrey, 10 seconds. Are they ever going to have any answers, do you think? Will we know? I don't think they're going to have the answers that they've been hoping for and praying for. And with that said, we all need to be very, very respectful that they're going through a extremely unthinkable, challenging time right now. All right. Thanks so much, Jeffrey Krygier, Bob Krygier, Jeffrey Halstead. Thanks.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.